Hello there, and welcome to your weekly guidance for, Monday the 3rd of November through to Sunday the 9th. And wow, we're in November already. We've come through September and October, which have been so intense energetically. I'm afraid we're not there yet. Okay, just to put a bit of a health warning on there on this, November is just as big, if not bigger. We are in a run of massive energies right now, all the way through to the winter solstice on the 21st of December. So hang in there. This guidance is going to give you a bit of a deep dive into what's going on this coming week, and also some cards to help you with navigating that, how you can get through those energies successfully. Because I want to explain it is all a process and it's really important. So, if you are new here, you are very welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do subscribe while you're here. It makes a huge difference to getting this message out to more people on the channel. So thank you for that. If you've been here for a while, thank you. Welcome back. I really appreciate you. Honestly, it means so much that you show up and watch these videos. It really does. And I know I stopped doing the Wednesday Wanderings was it a couple of months ago now, for various reasons, and that's partly my own upgrades and shifts, and I'll talk more about that. But I do have some plans on what's coming next, so there will be something in its place, although these weekly guidance videos will continue, at least until my guides turn around and say, no, stop it, which they haven't done with these yet. So settle in and let's talk through the week ahead, shall we? So there is so much going on energetically. And I've said before, if you've been around a while, you will know I am not an astrologer, although I follow an awful lot of people who are. I've just noticed my lights aren't on. Can't do this without my lights on behind me. Oh, good grief. Now, look, no, if you ever want to know that this is unscripted and just recorded in the moment, that's a sign. I keep it real. I never prepare these, I just go with the flow. So anyway, as I was saying, I am not an astrologer. I follow astrology very closely and I follow a lot of amazing people. If you want to follow an astrologer and find out what's really going on, Pam Gregory is, in my view, the ultimate in that. And she puts some amazing stuff out on her YouTube channel. Do go and check her out if you want to know more about that. But I follow a number of people, lots and lots of people, probably too many. But anyway, I do. And I just absorb information. But what I do with that, I'm an energy worker. I work with energy more above and beyond anything. So the astrology gives me some real insights into the energies that we might anticipate. But then I always check in with my guides on what I'm feeling, what I'm going with, what feels true from my perspective, because that's why you're here. You want my perspective on these things. So the astrology this week is really, really big. Some really big transits going on. The main headline is the full moon on Wednesday on the 5th. And it's a full moon, it's in Taurus, and it's a supermoon, which means it's physically closer to the Earth, which means it has more impact. The moon has a gravitational pull on the Earth and it highlights things. And the closer it is to the Earth when it's at its point of fullness, the bigger the impact that is, the bigger the electromagnetic pull on the Earth and so on. So, oh, we've got rainbows coming in as the sun comes out. It's actually chucking it down with rain. So you never know, there could be actual rainbows, but I'm loving the lights up here. They're lovely. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted today. Wow. Well, that is some of these energies, isn't it? The overall theme that we are in at the moment from, I suppose, I'm going to say from the autumn equinox, so the 22nd of September, through to the winter solstice on the 21st of December. This is the culmination of a whole year of cleansing, clearing, releasing, letting go. In numerology, we're in a 9 year, which is all about endings and completions. 2026 is going to have a very different energy, very different energy. And there's almost like a cliff edge that feels like it's coming in December in at the solstice. I want to invite you to see this as a good thing, even though this process may be really hard. Now, we've just come through Samhain, Halloween on the 31st of October, just 2 or 3 days ago. And it was really powerful. And these energies continue. The Samhain energies stay with us. It's not just one night and that's it, done. Those energies stay with us. And everything right now, including this massive supermoon on Wednesday, which is in Taurus, everything now is inviting you to look at where have you been, what's changed for you, and look at it from an inward perspective. There is a lot of noise and chaos going on out there in the world, and you're probably seeing some of it. I choose not to tune into the news, but it doesn't mean I live in a vacuum. I'm aware of the headlines of what's going on. I choose not to engage with it because I don't want to give my energy into feeding that fear that is being created out there. I see it very much as the final throes of a wounded animal almost, who is fighting for its life and desperately trying to make as much noise and chaos as possible. The energy of love and of joy is not making a noise. The energy of love and joy is sitting underneath all of it. It's in people like you and me and many people that we know who are quietly going about their day, going about their life, embracing more of the spiritual side and choosing to disengage from that noise, which is very loud. It's desperately trying to get your attention. It's the person with a megaphone on the street corner really going, look at me, and trying to keep you in fear. There's so much more of that going on, and you will probably continue to see that playing out through this week. And in fact, through this month. But what I do want to say is when you take a step back from that, when you disengage from that, you come back into yourself, you come back into your truth, come into your heart consciousness, your heart intelligence rather than your brain. The human being is being upgraded. The planet is being upgraded right now. And there are those who have benefited from the old system and those of us who haven't. Those of us who haven't, who are disengaging from that old system, are creating our new way of reality, our new way of being. And it's powerful. And because it's from the ground up, it's from the foundations up, it is going to have more impact and it is going to be more long lasting. And the astrology is absolutely supporting that. The cosmic influences right now are really supporting that. All the comets in our solar system right now, plus 3i Atlas, which is an intergalactic visitor, if you like, whether it's a rock or I'm not going there with that conversation, but all of these are cosmic influences that are upgrading our planet and ourselves. And I want to invite you to lean into your sense of self this week. Have a think about where you give your power away. That sun's going to come through, so I can't see anything now, isn't it? Let's keep going. Have a think about where you give your power away to things that you just don't believe in anymore, just because you used to do it that way. Have a real think about that. Where do you need to come back into yourself and your heart and your truth that sits within you? There we go. See you again. The truth is in you. Where do you need to come back into yourself and go, this is my truth. This isn't the societal version of me that's needed to perform and conform and fit in. This is the time to be going, this is who I am now. This is me. So this week is going to be really powerful with that. And you can expect more things to play out on the world stage as they have been over the last week or two as well. I want to say, don't get caught up in that stuff. Yes, there are some dreadful things happening in the world and people are suffering, and that's not okay. If you want to do something towards that, I would invite you, have a look at Pam Gregory's channel, because she does a 15-minute meditation every day at 7 o'clock where we connect on an energetic level to send love, healing, and compassion to all. And that's what we're doing. We are creating the new world in that way. It's not about not caring what's going on. It's about disconnecting from the noise and the fear so that you don't feed your energy into that. Because the people with the megaphone shouting loudest are panicking, because the more of us that disconnect from that, the less energy they have to be able to maintain their old systems and old ways that frankly benefit only them. So that's my version of taking the power back. And this week, you do that by connecting in with yourself. It's all in your heart. And I know I've said this before. If you've been watching these for a while, I've been saying this for a while, but it's true. And this phase that we're in, the breaking down of the old system so that we can create space for the new, 2026 is going to look very different, very different. On an energy level, it's going to be quite different to 2025. And that's an amazing thing. So we're in a period of preparation, of cleansing, of releasing. And within you, you may find that there are old things surfacing that you thought you dealt with, and they're coming back up and they're going, no, I'm still here. There's more to deal with. I want to invite you to let that happen. Really allow that to happen. This full moon is going to illuminate things deep in your foundation that still need clearing. And if you want help with that, please do reach out to me, because that is what I'm here for, is to help you go through that in a way that feels calm and grounded and doesn't cause chaos along the way. So let's move on to the cards. There's a lot I've shared with you there, so thank you for bearing with me on that, but there's just so much going on right now, and I've barely scratched the surface in terms of all the astrology that's going on this week. So let me grab the cards. We are using my favorite deck, the Akashic Oracle deck, the award-winning Akashic Oracle deck from Marina Beach. I do use this one quite a lot, but I do mix it up sometimes. So if you've been around for a while, you'll know I do bring others in, and I'm scoping out some new cards at the minute. I'm trying to work out which ones to go for because it's so tempting to pick up so many. Anyway, let's start with, I've got us 3 cards this week that came out that my guides pulled out for me. And we start with this one, True Service. And what I'm really drawn to in this one is this light down the middle, the light between. And this for me speaks of that deep connection with source, with the guiding principles of the world, with your heart self. And it's not being distracted by what's over here or what's going on there. It's just that solid line within the central point. And that's within you, within, if you think of the line of your chakras, this central point is grounded and solid. And that's what I'm really getting a sense of with this. And then the service comes, if you see here, she is in devotion to that central point. She's not looking around. She's crouching down, going, I'm surrendering to the central point, the central line. And she is in absolute balance and harmony with herself. And that is what I'm really getting for this week. So there's a real sense of connecting with your heart truth and not being distracted by what else is going on around. She could be out there looking at the waterfall and staring up at the light, but she's not. She's in devotion to this central column, which is fixed and beautiful and absolutely in alignment. And I really see that this is the central chakra line through your body. So really think about how you are connecting in with your central line through your body, including your heart light. And how can you be in devotion to yourself in that way? This is all about you now, rather than the noise of what's going on out there. And that carries on in the second card so beautifully, so beautifully. We have self-confidence. And again, we've got this beautiful light up above her head. I might have to close that curtain in a minute. It's getting in the way of the cards. Beautiful light up in front of her head, above her head, with the key right in the center of it. And she is sitting, looking at you, and she's sitting on the ground. And what I'm really drawn to here are these daisies, the flowers beneath. And she is sitting with nature. And what I'm really getting with this, and the card self-confidence, is really, she's not darting around and jumping all over the place. She's just sitting, resting, grounded with nature. And that I see as a really key part of this week. If you find yourself this week at any point with any of the energies that are coming around, there's lots going on, particularly the full moon, but many others besides. If you find yourself feeling dysregulated, feeling a bit angsty, a bit, if you have a bad day, if you wake up one day and you just like, I just feel grumpy, connect with nature, get out in nature. The universe is really upgrading the planet, and the connection with the planet is getting stronger. And as humans, we're being invited to connect more and more with nature, with the earth. So this card is saying to you, remember to stay centered, remember to stay grounded. And this one is all about that central line and being in service to yourself. This is saying stay grounded, connect with nature. You don't need to be looking out there. You don't need to be doing anything. You need to just connect with yourself and connect with nature, and use nature as your touch point. Even if you're really busy and something goes wrong, and public service announcement, there could be tech issues on Tuesday, just saying, with some of the astrology going on. Mars is a big player this week and can get quite feisty. There's some oppositions going on. Could be some tech issues on Tuesday. It's not Mercury retrograde yet. That is coming, but we're not quite there yet. But really, if things start to go wrong for you, connect with nature. Use this as your reminder to connect in and get grounded. Even if all it is going and standing at the window and looking out and watching the trees and, the leaves flying around, or whatever it is. If you can physically get out in nature, but even just spending some time with a houseplant is better than nothing if you're feeling like that. So just do what you can to connect with nature and the real world. And then I'm just going to sort that curtain out. Bear with me. I really don't like shutting out the sun at this time of year, but unfortunately, I think I'm hoping this works, this video works, that you can actually see what's coming up. Anyway, let's keep going. The third card, and I love this one. We've got ancestral heritage. And the word I'm really drawn to here is heritage. So there's sort of two messages in this card that came through quite strongly for me. One is, if you see the hand and the key in the center there, and all these figures around, there's a sense of, we've just come through Samhain. The veil is at its thinnest right now. You are supported by your ancestors. Absolutely you are. And you might find yourself making more connections with them than you have in the past. That's a feature that's coming up this year, this month in particular, but through 2025, more and more people have been connecting with their gifts, with their spiritual self, with their ancestors. So if you have ancestors who maybe, or friends, or anyone close to you who, particularly who's passed over recently, more recently, sort of within the last 12 months or so, then you may find a stronger connection with them coming through right now. But the other part of that's a sort of almost like an aside part of this card, but that is there, and it's saying you are safe, you are protected, you are watched over, you are held. And allow that to flow if that's coming up for you. That might not be true for everyone, but I'm sure that my guides were really clear that for some people watching this, that will be the case. But the main message for this card, which I think is for everyone, I'm drawn to the word heritage on the title, ancestral heritage. And what I see this as is that sort of the spirals of time that take you back to the center of your heritage. And what I'm really getting from this, that connection with the old ways, connection with nature. If you think back hundreds, thousands of years, as a species, we lived in harmony with the world, with the land, with nature, with the cycles, with the seasons, with the moon for planting, with the sun for, when we gathered harvest. We weren't living in a place of artificial production of things. And what I'm really getting for this card for this week is start to think about how you can come back more in touch with nature and with your ancestral heritage. And I'm going back centuries or even millennia. Think tribal roots. Think before the Industrial Revolution, when people lived, they grew their own veg, they did their own things, they lived with the animals in harmony. When you go right back, you get back to Lemurian times, Atlantis, any of those places. People lived with the land. They didn't try and control the land to fit their own version of it. There are several people I follow that have been talking about this for a while, and it's absolutely true. It's time to make a choice whether your path is an organic one or a synthetic one. Now, that's not in judgment of either. And when I say organic, I'm not talking about the labeled food stuff. I'm talking about the natural way of life or the technologically advanced plastic-ridden way of life that is full of all sorts of things, that creates lots of quick wins. Don't get me wrong, the synthetic way of life is a very appealing one. But when you take a step back and you connect more with the organic, you go more inward and you connect with nature and you listen to the seasons and you disconnect from the technology from time to time. You give yourself permission to just walk in nature and go kicking the leaves in the park in the autumn, and allow yourself to feel that winding down that we're in now in this season as we move towards winter. That's the more organic way. Now, I'm not saying you all need to go and grow your own organic vegetables. That's not what this is about. But start to think this week about where you are making choices that might impact how you choose to create your future. We are in a position right now, through these next few weeks up until the solstice, everything we're doing, our choices are setting the seeds for what's coming for us next year. If your choices now are not ones you really want to make, then please make different choices now. That's what this is saying. Come back to your roots, connect with nature, and bring yourself back into alignment. That's really what this week is about. Those three. I can never coordinate. I'm sorry. If you've been watching this for a while, you'll know I'm rubbish at coordinating my fingers with these. If you're new here, thank you for bearing with me. I'm very uncoordinated at times. I've got them. I've just about got them. Anyway, there's the three cards. So You are thinking about being centered within yourself and honoring yourself and being in service to yourself and your truth. This card says true service, and that word true is important. Okay, what's your truth? This isn't about performance now. This is about you and what's in your heart and aligning your chakras and your world and coming into harmony with nature and grounding yourself into nature and being okay with just sitting in nature in whatever way that needs to be for you, with that confidence of knowing you don't need to perform, you need to just be. And the ancestral heritage, that heritage point of coming back into harmony with the old ways. That's the way forward. And that's what will be shown to you this week. I'm really getting a sense that where you are out of alignment, where you are not honoring what you really want, what's really in your heart, what's in here, not what's in here. When you're not doing that, that's what this full moon in Taurus is going to be showing you. And it will be showing you quite specifically, I believe. I'm really getting a sense that there will be things to change this week. And I want to invite you to go with that change and to go with what feels right. Make decisions from your heart and what you truly want, rather than your head and what you think you ought to be doing to keep other people happy. This is not a time to be people pleasing. The only person you should be trying to please right now is yourself. Be in true service to yourself, to what's in your heart. And yes, I know that's difficult. Yes, believe me, I am a reformed people pleaser myself. And there are still moments when I find myself trying to do things for others when I'm like, no, stop. That's not me. That's not what I really want to do. This isn't about saying never do nice things for other people, because that's okay. But make it your choice to do that rather than because other people expect it, or you feel that other people expect it. Even sometimes they don't. It's been a lot for this week's message, and I know this is slightly longer than normal, but honestly, we are in such unprecedented times, and I really want to invite you just to sit in your truth. Stay grounded, connect with nature, even if the weather is grim out there, which it's been a bit of a mix of amazing and dreadful today here where I am here. So really lean into connecting with nature and making choices that are from your heart rather than your head. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give you this week. If you want help with that, please do reach out. Just as a bit of an aside, I have been going through my own process, very much so, some really big stuff coming through, big downloads from my guides, my higher self, my ancestors. I mean, Samhain brought through a really big one. And I'm still processing that and working out what that means for me. But it means that in terms of how I can help you, I've got some little things that are coming online that have been bubbling in the background, but now feels like the right time to bringing those out. So if you do want some help with any of this that I've talked about today, please do reach out to me, because I've got some stuff that's not, I haven't got links to share with you yet, and I haven't got, they're all just brewing away, but I'm going to be working on that over the next couple of weeks. So please do reach out if there's something you feel I can help you with, because I'm emerging through this as much as you are. So I am sending you so much love and the most beautiful blessings as we navigate the incredible full supermoon on Wednesday and all the other stuff that's going on. Please do take care. Please be careful where you put your energy, and honor yourself and your heart as much as anything. That's the most important thing. I'm sending you so much love. Please do take care, and I will see you soon.